right, welcome back to Arkansas Storm Team Live at 11 o'clock. I'm meteorologist Juliana Cullen here with another edition of Arkansas Storm Team Live. We do this every day, weekdays, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock and then again at 3 o'clock. So you can catch us 2 times to chit-chat about the weather. I'm by myself for today, which means that if you want to ask any weather questions, you totally can on my Facebook page. It's meteorologist Juliana Cullen, or you can always send them in my email. It's jcullen@kark.com, and I'd be happy to answer those weather questions for you, especially if maybe you're doing some traveling for the upcoming Christmas holiday or for New Year's, and you kind of want a little bit more detailed forecast. We can work through that during this time here as well. But if there are no questions, then I'll just give you the forecast in a little bit more detail than what we typically get to go to on TV because I don't have as much time. Live look at the satellite and radar, and rain is pushing through right now as we speak. Now, a lot of this rain is not particularly heavy. I'm going to take a little bit of a zoomed in look across a lot of central Arkansas right now. Let's really dive deep in there. South of the metro, or really south of Little Rock, south of 630 is kind of where we're picking up that rain near Baseline Road. You can see that rain is kind of picking up there. Maybe some pockets of a little bit of some moderate to heavy rain out there right now. Is there a little pointer I can get here? Sorry, I'm trying to use my pointer. There we go. So you can see a little bit of maybe some heavier rain just south of Baseline Road, some rain out there, and then that continues down towards into parts of Saline County. We're picking up on a little bit of some light to moderate rain just south of about I-30. So if you're traveling on I-30, things are looking fine. And you can kind of see how this line continues down towards Malvern and all the way down towards Texarkana, that kind of line of some showers. That is not the cold front. We're just kind of getting a few lines here and there. This is kind of the main line that is developed. This is just north of Marshall right now near Tomahawk, going all the way through Clarksville, through Paris, through Logan County, and all the way into Polk County is where that kind of line is setting up. And that is the main line ahead of the cold front. So that's kind of going to be the edge of the rain continuing to push eastward across the state throughout the rest of today. So for the most part in central Arkansas, it's scattered. It's scattered in eastern Arkansas near DeWitt, little pocket of maybe a quick downpour. It's dry and Brinkley right now, but near Forest City, starting to see a couple scattered showers, maybe a quick downpour, all the way up to Jonesboro, Paragould, a little bit of some heavier rain out there for right now. So for the most part, it's fairly scattered, but that rain is going to continue to push eastward as we move throughout the rest of today. And with that, and the cold front moving through, breezy weather on the way for today. And it's already getting breezy out there right now. Kind of a cool look across our wind gust map right now because it's showing you the full story. Look at El Dorado, look at Arkadelphia, look at Mena, Russellville, all has a southwest wind gusting 20, 25 miles an hour. Look at Fayetteville. Northwest wind at 26 miles an hour. That's exactly where the cold front is parked, and eventually this northwest wind is going to slide across the whole state and really make it breezy out there and push in that cooler air, push through that rain, and push out the cloud cover. So that kind of shows you exactly where that cold front is sitting right now. So we'll go through it on this is kind of a forecast track for winds, and you can see how it changes the direction of the winds to more of a northwesterly wind, and we see that moving through 2, 3, 4 o'clock for today. Stays breezy tonight, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Winds might slowly start to calm down, and then by tomorrow morning, let's go to 7 a.m., wind should be on the calmer side out there. So really it just stays mostly windy throughout the rest of today. So outside, maybe you have some decorations for Christmas or some holiday decorations, maybe those big inflatables. Let's make sure those are really tied down for today because a couple of those wind gusts could just take it flying down into your neighbor's yard or something. If it's trash day for you, let's be aware of that too. Some good things to kind of take into consideration because it just really stays windy for today. Day planner for today does have those southwest winds, 20 to 30 miles an hour through about 4 or 5 o'clock. Then here in central Arkansas, they should start to slowly calm down. And notice I keep the rain chance of the forecast now through about 3, 4 o'clock. And then we should start to dry out as well. So the good news is I think the evening drive should be dry. And then tomorrow will be dry as you wake up to start your Friday. Clear skies tomorrow morning will be cooler. This morning, I think the low in Little Rock was 59 degrees, which is pretty warm. Tomorrow morning, it'll probably be around the freezing point. So it will be drastically colder out there. Make sure you have that coat. And tomorrow afternoon, we get into some sunshine and highs in the lower 50s. All right, satellite and radar shows the rain out there and shows the cloud cover. And we'll continue to see that kind of pushing in as we move throughout the rest of today. Really over the next couple hours is when we'll really see that. Let's see if I think I'm going to use the HER forecast track to kind of time this out for you. You can see how it continues to push through over the next couple hours, and then by 4 or 5 o'clock, it's really out of here. So it's kind of just a today thing as far as the rainfall goes. I do want to point out one thing, though. If you live in northeast Arkansas, you live in eastern Arkansas, even into north central Arkansas, you might hear a couple rumbles of thunder, maybe a stronger thunderstorm or two. Not expecting anything severe for today, but there might be a few thunderstorms that kind of just pick up on a little bit more energy as they push eastward this afternoon into northeast Arkansas. So something to be aware of. After this moves through, technically it is a cold front. It cools us down for one day, and then we warm up again. And then we have another push of colder air. So kind of a classic roller coaster scenario here as far as the temperatures go, because today we're going to be in the mid 60s, even with the cloud cover and the rain out there. Tomorrow, cold front moves through. We drop down to 51. Southwest wind comes back on Saturday. We're back up to 65. Another push of colder air moves in Sunday, Monday. We're cloudier with a sprinkle chance. We're back in the mid to lower 50s. And then next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're above average temperature-wise, which, yes, is coincidentally Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's still looking pretty mild out there. I think many of us will be in the upper 60s on Christmas Eve, and I think some of us could cross over to 70 degrees on Christmas Day. So definitely some warmer weather ahead of us for the holidays. So I don't know, maybe not record-breakingly, but somewhere in the record books for the warmest Christmas. These are our warmest Christmases. You might remember 78 degrees in 2021 was not that long ago. Number 2, warmest Christmas, and these are Little Rock temperatures, is 73 in 1942. So that's kind of in the ballpark of what we're thinking. 72 in 1971, 71 in 1889, and rounding out the top 5 is 70 degrees in 2019. Also not super long ago. So I definitely think we could maybe, if we hit 70, break into that top 5, 71, 72, break into that top 5 of warmest Christmas days ever in Little Rock. So that'll definitely be interesting. But the good thing is, well, if you don't love warm weather, maybe some people want it to be 78. I don't think we're going to hit the number 1 place. So that's pretty certain, but anywhere within that 70, 71, 72 range, I do think it's going to be possible. So here's that extended forecast, 60% chance for rain today. A lot of it's going to be light. A lot of it's going to be scattered. But remember, there might be a couple rumbles of thunder. Cold front moves through. We drop to freezing tonight. It's cold tomorrow morning, but then it's sunny and 51 tomorrow afternoon. Back in the 60s Saturday. Another push of colder air moves in. Sunday, Monday, we're in the 50s. Still not too bad. Tiny sprinkle chances before we warm up into the 60s Tuesday, upper 60s Wednesday, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day looks like 70 degrees for some of us, and then we should stay dry into next weekend. So traveling this weekend, traveling next weekend for the week of Christmas, things are looking pretty good, which is definitely something good to hear. If you're traveling for Christmas and you want a more detailed forecast on that, you can send me a message right now. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to check my inbox if you do have any weather questions that I can answer for you, and then we'll be back in about 2 minutes. Welcome back to Arkansas Storm Team Live at 11 o'clock. No big weather questions out there right now, but probably what most people are wondering about is what's going on the radar, as we are still dealing with some showers out there. And I checked just a little closer. I was zooming in on the radar a bit when we were taking a break here to check my messages to see if I could see any lightning strikes. I'm really not picking up on many lightning strikes out there, if any. So might hear a rumble of thunder, but really not much going on. North of us, though, you can see the line has just a little bit more strength, and there was one possible tornado warning in north of St. Louis, and now it's just a severe thunderstorm warning. So there is a little bit of energy along this line, but it just doesn't have all the ingredients here into Arkansas. But you can kind of see right where this cold front is and right where this line is, all the way north of Chicago, and then it goes all the way through St. Louis and then down into Arkansas. So that's kind of what we're dealing with for today. Really don't have the ingredients for severe weather, but could there be some gusty winds? Well, absolutely. Not even associated with thunderstorms. There could be some gusty winds and maybe a stronger thunderstorm or two in northeast Arkansas as this line kind of gets together. But we'll take a zoomed in look across the satellite radar to kind of give a closer look at what you're seeing out there. Maybe you're getting ready to go out on your lunch break. Here in the metro, most of the rain is actually just south of kind of the 630 interchange and kind of the 430 interchange as well. You can see zoomed in a little too close there, might be able to see too many roads. It gets kind of confusing. But you see that's right where 30 is, I-30, there's 530, the south interchange, and then the rain kind of picks up south of here. Most of it is fairly light, tiny little pockets of some moderate rain here and there near Baseline Road. and then it continues through parts of Saline County. Light rain, pocket of moderate rain here and there near Malvern, all the way down through Clark County near Arkadelphia, tiny little sprinkles here and there. And it kind of falls apart into southwest Arkansas. Let's go into south central Arkansas near Camden, near Hampton, tiny little spotty showers, maybe a little bit of a pocket of some moderate rain. It might be so tiny that you see moderate rain for like a minute. You turn your windshield wipers on a little harder and then it goes away. Through parts of Jefferson County, here's near Pine Bluff, tiny little sprinkles. Into Arkansas County, it does pick up a little bit where you can see more scattered showers and maybe a little bit of a pocket of some heavier rain here and there, but overall it is pretty light. Into eastern Arkansas, picking up a little bit near Forest City, all the way up to Wynne, and then into Jonesboro. They had some heavier rain out there, kind of lightening up now. Near Paragould, kind of lightening up as well. So that's across northern Arkansas. And then here's our main line that we were talking about. This connects all the way through Missouri and into Illinois, all the way up to Chicago. This is where that cold front is. These showers have developed ahead of the cold front. But these are kind of associated with that front. And yes, there is maybe some heavy rain out there. Here's in Pope County. You can kind of see maybe some heavier rain getting ready to move into Dover and into Russellville, probably in about 20, 30 minutes, moving through Knoxville right now, getting ready to move over London. If you're going to be traveling on I-40 from Clarksville down to Russellville, might be driving through some of this. So some heavy rain. And embedded in this, could there be a rumble of thunder or a gusty wind gust? Yes, but I'm really not seeing any indication of that right now, and really not even picking up on any lightning strikes. So if you're hearing some rumbles of thunder out there, let me know. Got an update of the radar from Mount Pleasant all the way up to Marshall. Maybe some of that moderate to heavy rain picking up, and then it continues up into northern Arkansas. But again, look, the heaviest rain kind of starts to fall apart a little bit as it gets into Missouri. So something we'll definitely be keeping an eye on over the next couple hours, but this rain is going to be pretty brief as it continues to move through. So might notice some heavier rain, and then it goes away a little bit. Kind of a pocket here near Atkins and Petit Jean, and then all the way down into parts of Scott County, seeing some of that heavier rain as well. So that's kind of what's on the radar for right now. So rain chance is going to stay with us for the next couple hours. Something else that we're going to be dealing with for the rest of today is breezy winds. And they've actually picked up a little bit from when I showed you them, 5-6 minutes ago. We took a look at this map. Look at Fayetteville. Now seeing northwest wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Harrison, northerly wind gusts up to 33 miles an hour. Russellville still seeing a southerly wind gust up to 22 miles an hour. Probably within the next hour or so, that front's going to start moving through. Let's take a look at temperatures just to see if anything has kind of changed out there right now. Temperature map. Everything is still fairly warm. Let's look at a regional temperature map. That might show us a little bit of a different picture too. Yeah, you can definitely see how that cooler air is starting to kind of cut into just north of Springfield. That's where that cold front is that'll eventually be sweeping through. So it's going to take us a couple hours to get that cooler air, but that cold front is on the way, and that's where those showers are kind of lining up. And we're getting that northwest flow, which is helping to push in that cooler air. So it'll cool down for about one day, but really the forecast is actually looking fairly warm as we move towards the next couple days. You can see on temperature trend map today, 60s, tomorrow 50s because of the cold front, but then back up into the 60s Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Another cold front moves through, and then we're back up in the 60s, maybe 70 degrees by Christmas Day. So really, yes, we have some cold fronts heading through. They're just not the strongest in the world, which is why we're also not seeing huge rain chances or huge storm chances, which also is a good thing with these, but we are going to be seeing some rain out there. So if you're heading out for your lunch break, I would go ahead and grab that rain gear because you are probably going to need it. Got a couple more things to talk about weather-wise, but we are going to take a quick break, and I will show you more of that forecast coming up in just a couple minutes. All right, welcome back to Arkansas Storm Team Live at 11 o'clock. Time to get a last check of your forecast before we have to leave here. And I'll be going on the noon show, KARK News at noon, with more details on the forecast as well. So you could tune in there if you missed one part and wanted to know a little bit more details about something. And also, we always have Arkansas Storm Team Live at 3 o'clock, where you can find another look at the forecast as well, just with some different meteorologists. So extended forecast shows you kind of a little bit of a roller coaster, but overall a fairly mild forecast over the next couple days, just taking into consideration that the first couple days and really the first week of December was really cold and well below average. So now we're kind of riding average, above average here and there. So today, 65 for your high, 60% chance for showers today. That doesn't mean the rain is going to be heavy, but it does mean there's pretty good likelihood that you see rain. Remember, there could be a couple rumbles of thunder. So just have that rain gear handy throughout the rest of the day. Cold front moves through tonight. Drop down to 32 overnight tonight, and tomorrow morning it'll be chilly, and then it'll be sunny and dry, 51 tomorrow afternoon. Southwest wind kicks back up, warms us back up in the 60s Saturday, so that cold front didn't last long, and another one sweeps through, cooling us down Sunday, Monday, tiny rain chance, 10% chance into Monday. Tuesday, southwest wind kicks back up. We're back in the upper 60s again Wednesday. That's Christmas Eve. Could some of us hit 70? It looks pretty close. And then by Christmas Day, I think we'll see more of that, upper 60s, some of us hitting 70 degrees on Christmas Day, and Friday and Saturday after Christmas are also looking pretty similar as well. So a mild forecast with some tiny rain chances. Today's the best chance of rain, so keep that rain gear handy. But that's all the time that we have, so I hope you'll join us on KRK4 News at noon. More details on the forecast, Arkansas Storm Team live at 3, coming up at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and all of our regular newscasts this evening as well with more details on the forecast. I will see you back on air tomorrow morning on Friday. I hope you have a great day.